What's up, everybody? It's Flocka back at it again with another Madden YouTube video. Today we have a top 10 on wide receivers, and I think this is by far the hardest list to make. There are a lot of very good cards that don't make the list. Obviously, I can't be perfect on this list. I think this is, like I said, the hardest one to be perfect on. So if you have any guys you think should be higher, lower, let me know in the comments. It helps me make the video in the future. Whatever feedback you guys have, maybe I'm sleeping on a card, make sure to let me know and let other people in the comments know. It always helps out the future videos, like I said. Appreciate you guys once again, and let's hop right into 10. Make sure to smash that like button if you enjoy the video. One like can help out so much, and let's get into it. To take your gameplay to the next level, make sure to check out civil.gg to look at the 2 membership plans right here for the best ebooks inside of the game. Use code SHOE for 25% off. Number 10, we have Andre Rice, and this guy beat out a couple cards like Tyreek Hill. He also beat out Jalen Waddle. There's other guys like TJ Huzimanada he's beaten out. This card is still very good. Like I said, all those guys that he's beaten out are still very good cards and can easily be interchanged with him at 10 as well. But Andre Rice, our number 10, has a 90 base speed. He is also 6 foot with the best archetype in the game at route runner. He has a 90. All his catching stats are above 90, which is amazing. The only route running stat he'll hit above a 90 is a deep route running, which is okay. It's definitely okay. It would be better if he hit all 3 of them, but he hits, because the way I look at wide receiver, there are 6 thresholds you want to hit, and obviously there's the 3 catching, the 3 route running, and he hits 4 out of 6 thresholds. So that is very good for Andre Rice, and I think this card is very solid, especially when you look at the team chemistries he gets as well. The Colts, Falcons, Browns, Packers, Jaguars, Chiefs, and Raiders. Actually nuts the value a card like this can bring to your team. Andre Rice, and also really good at, like I said, archetype route running is definitely the best. Easily my number 10. Number 9, we have Chase Claypool. This is a brand new Rising Star card that just came out last week on Wednesday. 6'4" physical, so he has the worst archetype. I think physical is very bad unless you're, I don't know, like running the ball. I guess this ability matchup nightmare is okay, but a lot of people like to get the honorary lineman on him if you're a runner. But then again, like I said, this is more for the passers, wide receiver rankings. More people that pass the ball are going to be watching a video like this. 91 base speed is still very good, and his height is amazing. I think like the combination of those two alone are very good. He also hits every single catching threshold when powered up. He also hits the D threshold as well. He's basically the same with the threshold as Andre Rice, and he's also just faster and 6'4". Claypool is just Claypool. You guys remember in last year in his Team of the Week card, he's always going to be a really good card in Madden because of his height alone. I love Claypool in this game. Very underrated card. Number 8, we have Calvin Johnson, another very big player. 6'5", physical archetype as well, but he is shorter. He is, or not shorter, he is slower by 1 speed. But if you guys look, although he doesn't hit the thresholds here as him, he hits only 2 of the 6 thresholds when powered up. If you guys know, sometimes there's cards that just play better despite the stats. And I've noticed Calvin Johnson just be one of those cards. Although he doesn't have near the stats as some of the guys on this list, he's not as fast as a lot of guys on the list. He only hits 2 of the 6 thresholds that we were looking at earlier. It's a very tough situation, but Calvin Johnson is just Calvin Johnson at the end of the day, especially in Madden. There's some cards in the game that always will do this. There's Dion, Randy Moss, Calvin, Bo Jackson. There's always Lawrence Taylors in the game that just play better no matter what. Calvin Johnson's one of those guys. 6'5" also does help a lot in these situations. Calvin definitely deserves to be on this list. Number 7, we have Robert Woods, a 6-foot receiver with the best archetype in the game, being a route runner, 90 base speed. So the speed is solid. It's not overwhelming, but the thing that's very good about Robert Woods that we all love, like I said, his archetype is the best, but he also hits all 6 of 6 thresholds. Amazing to see this early on in the year. His price definitely does represent him hitting all those above 400K. I think it's definitely worth it if you're thinking about pulling the trigger. Him hitting all these things, especially if you're on a theme team. The only thing really questionable on him is maybe his 6 foot's not bad, but it's maybe like the speed, because we're starting to see 91s and 92s that will come out very consistently now. But Robert Woods is still very good because all these stats carry him into that top 10 easily. Number 6, we have Charlie Joyner. I think this is one of the most slept on cards inside of Madden right now. I don't see many people using him. 91 base speed, so that's very solid speed. He's only 5'11", but he gets the slot archetype, which I think is now the best archetype in the game because they changed slot-o-matic or slot apprentice to 2 AP, but slot archetypes still have it at 1 AP, which is one of the best abilities in the game for a lot of offenses. But you guys know he does get route tech. He gets slot-o-matic for cheap. If I were you guys and you guys are looking for it, slot-o-matic and slot apprentice, 3 AP and a receiver is a little tough, but it's the best combo you can put on him. He's a very, very good card. He hits the threshold for all 3 route, or for 2 of the route runnings. He gets 1 of the catching and spec catch. But this card, I mean, he's just a good route runner. That's basically what he is. I love Charlie Joyner in my offense. I use him for my Titans team. Very slept on card, and you don't see him out there. Like I said, I recommend him to almost everybody. Number 5, we have Miles Austin, a 6'2" route runner. So very good archetype, very good height at 6'2", 91 base speed. You guys can see he hits all 3 thresholds for catching when powered up. He only hits the medium route running threshold, which isn't the best, definitely not the best at all. But I noticed his catching to be very good. I almost did a game plan on this card. I didn't get. This is the only card on this list I have not played with yet. But looking at the stats, he has to be out this high. Very good height, very good archetype, hits all the catching, and he's also fast. I mean, Miles Austin has to be on this list. He's just an all-around great card in this game, looking at the stats. 4, we have TD Lockett, Tyler Lockett. This is a card that I absolutely love. A lot of people do not like him in this game. I don't think it's the card they don't like. I think it's because we also did have a Tyler Lockett limited last year, so it's kind of a recycled card, which really does suck. Yes, it does suck seeing the same cards, but we can't take away that he is one of the best cards in the game right now at the receiver position. 92 base speed. Okay, so the one negative you'll see about this card is his height. That's about it. Only negative about him is 5'10". 91 catching is amazing. Only 88 catching traffic. It's still very good. It's just not going to hit that threshold. He will hit the threshold for all route running, which is amazing. Even the spec catch. So he hits 5 out of 6 while maintaining the second highest speed player in the game. So Tyler Lockett, very good card. I also am not the biggest fan of deep threat. I know a lot of people might like deep threat because of the deep in elites, but then again, they even nerfed those. I mean, the deep in elites are right here, but like the mid in elites, they did nerf those for a lot of archetypes. But if I were you guys and you guys are using this guy, I am definitely using deep in elite or deep out elite. There's also runoff elite. I have not tried that yet. I think he's the only person in the game that gets it. Oh, actually, a lot of people get this ability. Okay, I did not know that. Well, Tyler Lockett, this card is still very, very good. I mean, I think he could even be higher on this list, honestly. I just think the next 3 guys are amazing. Number 3, we have Andre Johnson. I'm actually going to show you guys the full version instead right here. Andre Johnson, 92 base speed, 92, or not base speed. He has 91 base speed. This is the powered up version. So he is a little bit slower than Tyler Lockett, but he is also 6'3". He hits every single threshold besides short running, and he also is the best, I think, after the catch runner in the game when it comes to break tackle, the trucking at 93, change of directions, very good. Everything is very good. And also, if you guys notice, he is also the highest run blocking wide receiver in the game. I do believe this is the highest stat, 81. That is better than both of my tight ends on my team, and Travis Kelce. I think Gesicki's on my team. Kittle, obviously, I think has higher than him. But Andre Johnson, man, this card is amazing, especially what he can do. He's the most well-rounded receiver in this game. I think these top 3 receivers all are 3 different receivers, and they all can be interchanged. But Andre Johnson, there's no taking away from this card how good he is. I think a lot of people might be sleeping on him because they're burnt out on him from Madden 21 being in their lineup all year. But Andre Johnson, this is like almost a must-have card on your team. Number 2, we still have Jerry Rice. This card is still amazing. This card was so before his time, and I think his price represented that so well. He was a card that was above 500K for the longest time. He is 6'2", so the height is very, very solid. Route runner archetype, best archetype in the game. He also hits every single threshold, all 6 of them, or no, not all 6 of them. This is the powered version. He hits 5 of them, not the short route running, but he will hit all of them. The reason why I'm above Andre Johnson, they are the same exact speed. They both hit 5 out of 6 thresholds. I think Andre Johnson's better after the catch. You can see the run blocking's minus 20 on him. It literally only has to do with the archetype. I think the archetype is definitely It just is so key, especially with like route tech. There's a lot of really good stuff you can use. I think the apprentices are usually cheaper for the outside and everything on these cards. I think physical is just the worst one. But also when you've played with Jerry Rice, he also has that glitchy Reggie Bush spin move where you just tap B and it does that really fast spin move. Jerry Rice is amazing after the catch just because of that, and he's easily a top 2 receiver in this game. At number 1, I have Will Fuller. At the end of the day, speed will always be king inside of Madden, and he is also the fastest receiver in the game. Not only the fastest receiver in the game, he's the fastest player in the game. He's the only player in the game with 93 base speed. Also has the power, so it'll go up to a 94, which is absolutely nuts in the beginning of October. Well, now we're in the mid of October. He was released in the beginning of October. 6 foot wide receiver, so he's not overwhelmingly tall, but he is a solid height. He's going to hit 1, 2, 3 thresholds for you guys out of 6. Obviously not as good as Jerry or Andre. Remember, speed is always king in Madden. It will forever always be king in Madden, and that's why I think Will Fuller's at number 1. But like I said, I think the top 3 guys are very different receivers. Obviously, pick and choose. I think those guys are all interchangeable. Honestly, for my offense, I would take the speedier guy, particular for me, but some guys from their offenses, they might like the route runner. Some guys, they might like the guy that can do it all, the run blocking, the passing, everything. If you're more balanced, you want Andre Johnson. The top 3 are very interchangeable. Appreciate you guys sticking around to the end. Make sure to let me know, like I said, let me know which receivers you're using, all of that inside of the comments. It is a very hard list to make. It's always going to be the hardest list to make because of the depth that we have at wide receiver. Obviously, a lot of people, I always see in the comments too, is the theme team stuff. I don't take theme teams and accountability here. I know TJ Hoosman is one of the best cards in the game because of his Raiders theme team. I don't take into place that he's a Raiders theme team. I look at the broad spectrum of everything when it comes to grading these cards. But I appreciate you guys sticking around to the end. Make sure to let me know once again, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, boys.